they've suffered genocide and decades of persecution. Today, an estimated 500,000 Rohingya Muslims live in Myanmar's Rakhine state. They're not recognized as citizens. Their movements are severely restricted by the authorities and they face constant surveillance. Since a military coup in 2021, few outsiders have been able to enter this region. But inside, a group of Rohingya citizen journalists has been secretly filming events affecting their community. They've given 101 East exclusive access to more than 2 years' worth of footage that has never been broadcast before. The videos tell a disturbing story. On 101 East, Rohingya VJs reveal the reality of life inside an apartheid state. These are rare images from northern Myanmar, filmed under extremely dangerous conditions by Rohingya citizen journalists. 101 East spent 6 months reviewing and verifying hundreds of videos. We're focusing on events following the military takeover of Myanmar in February 2021. Citizen journalist Rashid has been helping us make sense of the footage. He's asked that we disguise his identity.
Military yaragi bihi zulum gutto manchore azguri Rohingya musulmanore bihi zulum gutto to yayo tharar hato mazat dejkigu to zulum goribe boli manche dol lage.
The persecution is well documented. The Burmese military conducted its first campaign against Rohingya Muslims in 1978, forcing some 200,000 to flee their homes in Rakhine State for neighboring Bangladesh. Then, in 1982, the government stripped the Rohingya of all citizenship rights.
Rohingya Musulman kolore tara hono second class, third class hoye hono to mani no lo. Rohingya kolor hono class nahi. Rohingya class je take da se dor loyer zindagi gorate.
In 2017, following a series of attacks by a Rohingya armed group, Myanmar's military launched what it called clearance operations in northern Rakhine. This footage was filmed by some of the citizen journalists we're now working with. Rohingya villages razed, their inhabitants killed. An estimated 700,000 Rohingya fled across the border to Bangladesh. Most are still living in refugee camps there. The Myanmar military insists its actions were justified, and prior to the coup, former state councillor Aung San Suu Kyi repeatedly spoke in its defence.
The security forces have been instructed to adhere strictly to the code of conduct in carrying out security operations, to exercise all due restraint, and to take full measures to avoid collateral damage and the harming of innocent civilians.
But members of the international community disagree. And in March 2022, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said this:
"Beyond the Holocaust, the United States has concluded that genocide was committed 7 times. Today marks the 8th, as I have determined that members of the Burmese military committed genocide and crimes against humanity against Rohingya."
Recent footage shows that the military and security forces continue to maintain a visible presence in northern Rakhine. In this video, shot in mid-2021, the army and border guard police summon residents of a Rohingya village for questioning. They're on the lookout for members of rebel armed groups. Failure to report encounters with any armed group could spell trouble for the villagers. But the situation is complicated and the Rohingya are caught in a bind.
Rohingya Musliman call aro mushkilot pore giego jeto maje here ase je arkano maje mogbagi ase arsa ase eto abar permanent military ase tarar maje tara kesu gorin haware honikola ase je tara tani na haware tani le motor ase je tuitala katanor tarar ase je zindagi aro shanti pore giego.
The rebel Arakan Army, or AA, is the most powerful armed group in Rakhine State. Made up primarily of ethnic Rakhine Buddhists, it claims to have more than 30,000 fighters. In late 2020, AA reached a ceasefire agreement with the Myanmar military, but that deal collapsed following the coup. It has since established a parallel administration and intensified efforts to cement control of the region. In this video, AA fighters can be seen leaving a Rohingya village.
আর কুরিয়াছিনিয়া তোরা সা দিলিও তারা লুফিলিবো না নদুলি হেলাইবো তোরা তারা বুকু মারু গলে দেখাই মাঝে আর কুরিয়াছনা জাং টাইম মাঝে তোরা তো মানে তারা বুকু মারু গলা হইবো
মানে আরাম মুসলমানের কণ্ঠ হতে
মইজিয়া উরবো তোরা মন নিলে মারিবা
ইতারা তো টিয়া লাগে তারা তো আছে 30,000 এর উপরে আছে ফোর্স আছে ইতারা দেন হ্যাং করা হয় তারারা আছে ট্যাক্স দিয়া ওরে faratu fotti gutu tia dia ore tarare.
The Rohingya are also expected to contribute in other ways. These men say they've been ordered to help the rebel group build a new camp. They're not paid and are expected to bring their own food. AA members also face multiple allegations of kidnapping and torture. This man says his son was abducted by the rebels, who accused him of supporting rival armed group, the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, or ARSA. Citizen journalist Ahmed has been tracking AA's rise. We've disguised his identity.
Mogbagi Rohingya re hode ara miliori Arkanor azadilla boli fight gori military loiri. Kintu itara Rohingya kolore kisima torika loiri dase zulum karat asi. Military mogore 2012 dase মামলা মাঝে সাথ দিয়ে আর মগে মিলিটারি রে 2017 রোহিঙ্গা জিনোসাইডের মাঝে দাসে সাথ দিয়ে
It's not the first time we've heard those allegations. In 2012, following an outbreak of communal violence in Rakhine State, 101 East interviewed displaced Rohingya Muslims near the capital Sitwe. They had been forced into a camp surrounded by security checkpoints. Five years later, in August 2017, citizen journalists in the Rakhine township of Rathadong interviewed fleeing Rohingya villagers.
saroda tu tara agi bi ayere moldi hade military ase magar da military ase tara tu saroda tu sai
तो बाद यार मतलब साइड दे सारे कुलती मौक होती मिलिट्री होती पुलिस होती लंटिंग होती गिरी गिरी और बाद ठीक हो जान होले ओग्वा बुदल हुकिंसान ने तो दे बिडियान भाई पॉइंट भाई दूध जादू भाई मासूम बच्चे भाई आसुम बे कुनोरे की गुली मारा शुरू दे
Today, AA and the Myanmar military are battling for control of Rakhine State. The sound of artillery fire fills the night. In the day, military helicopters hover overhead.
2022 অগস্ট লতি 2022 নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত বেশি লড়াইছিলি ডর হাতিয়ার কল 370 কুফাতি মগবাগিরে মাঝি তো ফিলিং লয়রিও দাসে বোমকল ডাইলি হিতারার লড়াইয়ের মাঝে বহুত রোহিঙ্গা কল মজ্জি
Over the past year, citizen journalists have documented numerous incidents of Rohingya civilians caught in the crossfire. These are just some of the videos we've been given. Others are even more disturbing. A fisherman killed as he was returning home on his boat. He'd been attempting to flee a gun battle between AA and the military. A community leader shot dead as he was riding his bike home. An elderly man stands dazed on a street after being hit by shrapnel. Children too have been hurt. This young girl was wounded when an explosive device detonated near her. Rashid believes the Rohingya are vulnerable because of tactics used by the AA.
যত মাঝে নিকি আছে তে মিলিটারি লড়াইও তারা আছে তে রোহিঙ্গা কলর ফারাটা কে এরা আছে তে জায়গা লগাই তো তারা হেফাজতুল্লাহ তো তারা আছে তে তারার মাইল মুক্ত আছে তুবগিনা আছে তে রোহিঙ্গা আছে তে ফারাত ফরে গায়
The AA did not respond to our requests for comment. A government spokesperson told 101 East there have been hardly any armed clashes in Rakhine State this year, and the region is peaceful and tranquil. But Ahmed says the military has been tightening its grip on civilians in a bid to flush out AA troops.
লড়াই টাইমের মাঝে মানুষের আসা যাওয়া বন্ধ করছে রাস্তা বন্ধ করে ফেলাই আর খানা পিনা আনা লই যাইও বন্ধ করে ফেলাই
Videos shot towards the end of 2022 confirm this. A military roadblock in the middle of the day. 2 Rohingya travelers have been ordered to stop. The soldier appears to be on the lookout for residents from a particular village. He has a message for them. Other tactics affect more than just one village. Near a bridge, police tell a group of Rohingya men they cannot pass unless they offload all the food they are carrying. Some AA fighters have been relying on civilians for supplies. This action will not only affect the rebels, it also means that some Rohingya people will go hungry. Nearly everything the men are transporting has to be left behind. But in the end, police do make one concession. The political upheaval gripping Myanmar has done little to disrupt the institutionalized discrimination imposed on the Rohingya. Throughout the first half of 2022, scenes like these unfolded across Rakhine State.
হকুমত তো গড়িয়ে দে বছর বছর সুইডেন যাইবা আজ পর্যন্ত রোহিঙ্গার ওরে ঘরত আছে যে রোহিঙ্গা সুইডেন যাই মাঝে শামিল হই না পারে ইয়া তো দায়ী হই ইতারারে বিডিবি হইরে হামশাল্লাহ গর হাবজতু হাড়ি দিবেলা
Because the Rohingya aren't recognized as citizens of Myanmar, a piece of paper known as the household list is often their only identity document. Without it, they're considered illegal immigrants. The list, which includes the names of every member of a household, is checked every year. It's also a time for parents to register new babies. This process is meant to be free, but the Rohingya are often expected to pay bribes for such services. A citizen journalist manages to capture one such moment. We ask Rashid what happens if a baby is not registered.
Hitar asde fo asde black list bani jago. Phone in school mother phone na puri na hare. Phone in asde darke su guri na hare. Phone in durma tai jago.
An important element of the annual check involves photographing the household. Families are lined up and made to wear number tags around their necks. The picture will serve as proof of their attendance. Rohingya who don't show up at these checks risk facing severe consequences.
বছরে বছরে আছে দে ইন্দো সারাং চেক করে দে রে নাইতে মানুষই বেড়ে দে হারি দে আর যে মানুষ বিনি কি আছে দে 2017 মাঝে আছে দে দেশ সারিওরে গিয়েগো তারা আছে দে আর ওয়াপে সাইবর রাস্তা নাই তো যে মানুষ কিন্তু এগোই তার ওয়াপে সাই নিল মতো ইতারে দড়ি ফেলাইগো দড়িও আছে দে জিওলো দিব
In its response to 101 East, the Myanmar government described the inspections as necessary. A visit to the local immigration office to update a household list. It might seem like a technicality, but for the Rohingya, having outdated documents could mean trouble. The man is applying to transfer his wife and 3 children from her parents' household list to his own. Government services are meant to be free of charge, so this is illegal. But no one here seems surprised. Rashid says such payments are a fact of life for the Rohingya.
He habosona hino labuliora as the tia India no hore. To itara as Musliman ditana lalude. To hinin as the officially no. Hin as the tara labulode. Rohingya kulas de enara sumaze takede arkanoma takede as tia yor takede.
Videos we've received show that the practice of demanding bribes from Rohingya Muslims isn't just widespread, it's widely accepted. A trip to the border guard police to correct a misspelled name ends with the Rohingya applicant handing over a wad of cash. Not all demands for money involve the provision of a service. Here, a fish trader is stopped by border guard police manning a checkpoint. For a while, it looks like the border guard police won't back down. But in the end, they relent.
Tê tê lê nó tê tê lê trả còn bé xe y lúc một lúc mà nè
Even religious rituals can be opportunities for corruption. Here, a sacrificial cow is being led to the slaughter. Border Guard police at one end of a bridge have just demanded a bribe of about $1. The owner of the cow pays up and continues on his way. But there's another checkpoint straight ahead. This footage was shot in the second half of 2022. A group of Rohingya students are at a government office following some rare good news: the lifting of a 10-year ban on Rohingya attending university. But re-enrolling isn't going to be so easy.
2022 রোহিঙ্গা স্কুলে ভাইন্দরে ইউনিভার্সিটি উড়িবাল্লা বলি এজাজত দিলিও হিদারা তো পংজালে ধরা পড়ে পংজালেলা বলি টিয়া দিয়া পড়ে ঘুষ দিয়া পড়ে
It's an exhausting process involving stacks of paperwork, time and money. The students will also need letters of recommendation and, because of the pandemic, vaccination certificates. A student attempts to negotiate, but this draws a strong reaction from the official. It's all a bit surreal. The students must now plead with the official to take their money or risk not being able to go back to school at all. The official storms off, leaving the students as uncertain about their future as when they first arrived. Life has always been precarious for Myanmar's Rohingya Muslims. Today, Myanmar's military government continues to dismiss allegations of abuse and discrimination faced by the community. It told 101 East, there is no such race as Rohingya among the Myanmar ethnic races at present or in the past.
এখন আজ্জা 2023 সাল যে রোহিঙ্গার ওরে জুলুমিন ওই সেই জুলুমর আজও বিচার আজও নাফা এটা লাই যে জুলুমিন রোহিঙ্গার ওরে অর সেই জুলুমিন দুনিয়ায় দেখি পাল্লা বলি এ হাম্মান আড়া করি দি ইয়ানরে আড়া মমিক্কাত আছে গড়ি যাইও হনদিন আছে নতিয়াই